Hey, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm gonna talk about top 5
best monitors for console gaming.
Starting at number 5.
Dell G2724D Gaming. If you don't have much to spend on a monitor for your Xbox Series X, then the Dell G2724D is a great choice, which you can get for cheap directly from Dell's website. It's a step down from the ASUS Q27G3XMN, with the main trade-off being that it has worse image quality as it doesn't have mini LED backlighting. Its HDR colors look far less vivid and rich, and blacks look gray in a dark room. It also doesn't get bright enough for highlights to pop, but that's what you have to expect for a cheap monitor. On the plus side, it still works well for gaming with the Xbox, as besides lacking HDMI 2.1 bandwidth, it doesn't have compatibility issues with the console, and it can downscale a 4K at 60 Hz signal for HDR. Fast-moving objects look fairly crisp, and this monitor supports VRR for a smooth gaming experience. It also doesn't have an audio output, so if you want to use speakers, you'll need to use an HDMI audio extractor or connect speakers directly to your Xbox controller.
Coming at number 4.
ASUS Q27G3XMN 27-inch. If you want the best Xbox Series X monitor and are on a budget, consider the ASUS Q27G3XMN. It has a lower resolution than the Acer Nitro 15275K P3 BiPros, so games look less detailed, but this monitor still has excellent image quality. It displays vivid, rich colors in HDR, and it gets bright enough for highlights to pop. If you game in a dark room, you may actually prefer the ASUS over the Acer as its contrast is much better, as it displays deep blacks next to bright highlights, even without local dimming. The ASUS has a fast response time, but unlike the Acer, there's black smearing that results in dark trails behind fast-moving objects. It has a lower input lag at 60 Hz than the Acer, which is great for playing reaction-based games. One downside is that it doesn't support HDMI 2.1 bandwidth, so the max refresh rate with downscaled 4K HDR signals is 60 Hz. You'll need to game in SDR if you want a higher refresh rate, but this is expected for a low-cost monitor.
At number 3.
Acer Nitro 27-inch. If you find the Samsung Odyssey Neo G7S32BG75 still too much out of your price range, a mid-range option like the Acer Nitro 15275K P3 BiPros is an excellent, less expensive alternative. Although it has worse native contrast than the Samsung, it still displays deep blacks next to bright highlights with HDR content, thanks to its mini LED full-array local dimming. Luckily, it still gets very bright in HDR, so highlights pop and colors look vivid. Similar to the Samsung model, this monitor has sharp motion handling with its fast response time at any refresh rate. It supports VRR with the Xbox for a smooth feel while gaming and can display a 4K at 120 Hz image, thanks to its HDMI 2.1 bandwidth. However, it has a high input lag at 60 Hz, so you'll need to make sure to set the Xbox to 120 Hz in the console settings to get low input lag.
Number 2 of my list.
Samsung 32-inch Odyssey. If you don't need such a high-end monitor and prefer saving money, check out the Samsung Odyssey Neo G7S32BG75. It has a 32-inch, 4K screen like the Dell Alienware AW3225QF, delivering detailed images, but it doesn't have the same outstanding picture quality as it lacks an OLED panel with deep and inky blacks. It doesn't have the same near-instantaneous response time for outstanding motion handling either, but that's the trade-off if you don't want the best overall option. That said, it still has a great response time at 120 Hz and 60 Hz, so motion is sharp, and it can take full advantage of the Xbox thanks to its HDMI 2.1 bandwidth. It also delivers good picture quality as it has high contrast and a mini LED local dimming feature, so there isn't much blooming around bright objects. It even gets bright enough to fight glare if you want to use it in a bright room.
And number 1.
ASUS TUF Gaming 32-inch. Designed for fast-paced games, The TUF Gaming VG32VQ1B is a 31.5-inch curved gaming display that boasts a 165 Hz refresh rate. Equipped with Extreme Low Motion Blur, ELMB, VG32VQ1B eliminates motion blur for a smoother gaming experience, while FreeSync Premium technology eliminates screen tearing and choppy frame rates. 31.5-inch WQHD, 2560 by 1440, 1500 R gaming monitor with ultra-fast 165 Hz refresh rate, supports 144 Hz, designed for professional gamers and immersive gameplay. ASUS Extreme Low Motion Blur, ELMB, technology enables a 1 millisecond response time, MPRT, together with adaptive sync, eliminating ghosting and tearing for sharp gaming visuals with high frame rates. FreeSync Premium technology supported through DisplayPort and HDMI ports, providing variable refresh rates for low latency, stuttering-free and tearing-free while gaming.
Check out this video description for latest price and more informations. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe and stay tuned.